I absolutely love when bands that I know and love just totally deliver on ways that I wasn't really expecting. It's one of the best feelings ever whenever you're listening to music. Welcome all fellow wannabes, welcome to the channel. I am Gabriel Fast. I do claim to be the Wannabe Critic. We're reviewing the 9th studio album, Ohms, by Deftones. And, you know, White Pony is one of my favorite albums of all time. I think it's just a solid go-to in the, you know, overall rock scene. Deftones are one of those bands where pretty much every single one of their records slaps, like is really, really good. And of course, there's several exceptional ones as well. Some of my personal favorites are Koi no Yokan, as well as, you know, their self-titled album is pretty good, as well as the Diamond Eyes. It's all good. All of their records are good if you enjoy, you know, the heavier side of rock music. Chino Moreno's vocals just deliver something that's just kind of one of a kind. Whenever you hear his voice, you know, you don't have to question whether or not it's him. You just know it's him, whether he's singing in, you know, the Crosses band or, you know, the Team Sleep on the Team Sleep record or even on any of the Deftones stuff. He has an iconic voice. You know it's him. And it's one of those voices that's just kind of hard to replicate. And he definitely delivers on this record and, you know, continues to solidify his place as being a more than competent frontman for Deftones. Ohms kind of hit in some different areas that I wasn't really expecting. They kind of like to play off of that more beautifully grotesque type sound. You know, you're just kind of chugging along all of a sudden, and then there's just this breakdown of this moment of clarity. It's those moments in those songs where like you had all this chaos, and then you just take a minute and you're like, man, that was crazy. And then you just start thinking about your life and like all these different things just kind of start popping in your head. Deftones delivers that and always has. I think about, you know, Change in the House of Flies and how that's such a big song, how that really delivers on so many different levels. There are elements of White Pony in this record, in my opinion. I think, you know, that album sounds like it could have came out today, and you can tell that the band loves the soundscapes that are found within that album. It's only natural that you're going to pull some of your favorite inspiration from things you've already done and put it on, you know, in things that you're going to do moving forward. I think that's a natural thing to do whenever you really gravitate toward a specific style of music. That being said, it delivers in some other ways. It pulls from, you know, what we know and love of Deftones and just delivers a solid experience. There really isn't a ton of songs on this record I'm thinking like, okay, I want to skip one of these. If you listen to this record a bunch of times, yeah, I think the shredding vocals from Chino might get old with time, but your first 3 or 4 listens, I don't think you're going to be skipping any tracks. This album is the best record that Deftones has put out in years, in my opinion. Can we normalize, you know, for all of your reviewers out there, can we normalize not saying that your opinion is like an inherent fact? Like, you just adhere to you saying that it's your opinion. Just really bugs me whenever someone's like, oh, your taste in music is not good. No, they just have a different taste than you do. I love this album. I think it's great. My favorite songs on the album, I think, are going to be the title track, which is Ohms, as well as Genesis, and then I really enjoyed the song Radiant City, which is track number 8 as well. If you're a fan of Deftones, you're going to love this record, plain and simple. I don't think there's anything for you to complain about. I think it's way better than Gore was. I wasn't really crazy about Gore whenever it came out. It just didn't feel like what I don't know, maybe I was expecting too much out of that record, but I think this, honestly, is the closest we're going to get to the Deftones of, you know, the early 2000s, which I think is a really good compliment for this record. I think it's kind of like the wasting light of the Deftones discography. And if you love the Foo Fighters, you're picking up on that reference, you know, real good, which is a high compliment coming from me. So in the end, I loved Ohms. I can't wait to spin it. I am going to buy it on vinyl. I think it's definitely worth your money. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. If you love Deftones, you're going to love this record. But you've heard enough of my Wannabe's honest opinion today. I know this, review was kind of me just kind of word vomiting, and that's what my reviews turn into sometimes. I just got a lot to say. Thoughts pop in, and I got to spit them out as fast as I can. And plus, you know, the album's been out for a couple of days already, so this review probably isn't even going to get any traction. But that's okay, because I love talking about music, and I love giving my opinions. So thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, consider subscribing if this is your first time here. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for preparing yourselves for a plethora of hot takes and potentially unpopular opinions. I'm Gabriel Fast. I will always be the Wannabe Critic.